Hi, welcome to this part of my review featuring Midnight, Legacy of Darkness. If you haven't seen the other parts of my review, featuring this Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition setting, where evil rules supreme and being good is considered a sin, please check out the playlist in the description below. This time we are going to talk about the other two elf populations and the elf traits. Let's start with the Miransil. The Miransil dwell along the southwestern coast of Eredain, where the forest of Erethor meets the sea. These unwarlike, thoughtful people come from the same origins as the rest of the elves, but long ago became as bound to the sea as their cousins are to the forest. Now their skin seems to always have the faintest sheen, as if they just emerged from the water. Their hair is kept short and made bushy by a thick crusting of salt, and they wear loose-fitting short pants and zaris. The Miransil live over the water in the intertwining branches of giant mangrove trees, whose sturdy roots protect their small harbors from ocean storms. The Miransil live off the bounty of the sea. They are coastal traders and expert swimmers, sailors and shipwrights. Let's talk about the Eronsil. The elves of northern Erethor, called the Eronsil, dominate the forest from its northernmost reaches to the southern end of the Highborn Mountains. They wear heavy clothes and thick furs when traveling or at rest, but prefer light leathers when fighting or scouting. In those circumstances, they rely more on their natural fortitude than on clothing to resist the cold. The Eronsil live in giant shelterwood trees, surrounded by mangroves of massive evergreen winter oak. Their homes are magically grown hollows in the massive trees, insulated by creeper vine and heated by hearth stones. They are hunters and live off the natural bounty of the forest. These northern elves have fought the orcs and other threats in the mountains for thousands of years, and are experts at hunting this prey. Let's talk about the elf traits. All elves in this setting have certain advantages. Their dexterity is quite superb. Though elves mature physically after living for 20 to 30 years, they do not claim emotional or intellectual maturity until they have experienced life for a century. Elves may live for 1,000 years, though some rare few have lived far longer. They are of medium size. When it comes to their speed, they are above the other species. They start with one heroic path fit of their choice. They have dark vision. They have Fey ancestry as well. That is, they have an advantage on saving throws against being charmed, and magic can't put them to sleep. In fact, they don't need to sleep, of course. Instead, they fall into a deep trance. They can speak, read, and write High Elven. Let's talk about the traits of the different elf populations. The Caransil have high charisma. They are proficient in the use of the long sword and the long bow, and they are innate magic users. They know one cantrip of their choice from the sorcerer's spell list. The Danisil have high intelligence. They are proficient in the use of the scimitar and the short bow. They are innate magical scholars. They know two cantrips of their choice from the wizard spell list. The Eronsil have great strength. They are trained in the use of the fighting knife and the long bow, and they have the Wraith of the North trait. They can attempt to hide even when they are only lightly obscured by foliage, heavy rain, falling snow, mist, or other natural phenomena. The Miransil have great wisdom. They are trained in the use of the trident and the javelin, and they have the trait Born of the Sea. They are proficient with boats and other watercraft. In addition, they can spend a bonus action to gain the ability to breathe underwater for 1 hour, while still being able to breathe normally. After they use this ability, they cannot use it again until they complete a short or long rest. And these are just some of the traits of the different elf populations. This concludes this part of the review. In the next part, we are going to talk about the gnomes. I don't know which ones I like the most, elves or orcs in this setting. The elves feel a lot like the Bastion of Hope species in this campaign world. They have always been there to fight evil, and they are still holding back the darkness as best as they can. I think it would be a really cool idea to have a party composed of just elves. You can have the Caransil and the Danisil to be full-time spellcasters. The Aransil could be the tanks or the frontliners of the group, while the Miransil could be excellent clerics, especially in underwater environments or maritime or seafaring adventures. I think that within those conditions, they could work excellently as rangers too. Thank you for watching this part of the review, and thank you for your likes and your comments. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. Once again, thank you, and see you later.